8:02 on a Tuesday morning. It is November the 11th. Rise and shine. This is Coffee Talk. I'm WESH 2 First Warning Meteorologist Eric Burris. It's cold. As a matter of fact, to put it into perspective, temperatures this morning were so cold that in Orlando, we'd 6 officially, and that means we were colder than Billings, Montana. How's about that? Isn't that wild? Yeah, 36 degrees this morning. Coldest air that we have seen in Central Florida since January the 15th, 2023. Now the temperatures have started to climb, but it is still bitterly cold. So let's take a look and just kind of get an idea of where we are neighborhood by neighborhood. And we're using our 5-minute weather sensors, which is nice because we get updates every couple of minutes, right? That's the way that works. 37 degrees in the city. It's 35 in Leesburg, 36 in the Villages. Look over to New Smyrna Beach. It's 37 degrees there and 38 in Titusville. So no matter where you are in Central Florida, it is chilly. And then, yes, and then factor in the winds. Okay, these are sustained winds running 15 to 20 miles an hour. But the gusts, that adds the bite, gusting to nearly 30 in just the last hour for Daytona Beach, for DeLand, for Orlando. And because of that, the feels like temperatures are kind of out of control. Look at some of these numbers, okay? Feels like, and we've been showing the model data for the last couple of days, but here it is coming to fruition, okay? Feels like 28 degrees in Orlando, feels like 26 degrees in Ocala, and 26 degrees in DeLand. So, yes. It's cold. Even in Brevard County, feels like 33 in Melbourne. Michelle says, I love this weather. I know tons hate it, but we only get a few each year, so I will enjoy it. It's a little taste of real winter, Michelle says. Well, and what's wild about it is that, and these are the feels like temperatures. So let's go back to our low for this morning, okay? The low temperature. Actually, let's even go beyond that. Let's talk about records for a second. These temperatures are record setting for just about everybody. Ocala, you're not an official record station, but we keep the data, so might as well use it. But Leesburg, Sanford, Daytona Beach, Orlando, Melbourne, all getting into record territory. But just the Orlando temperature, we have not been there in years. And that's not hype, that's just the truth, which I think is just a wild statistic. All of last year. As a matter of fact, the 36, so looking at the data, 36 degrees. Via history, the average first time that Orlando gets to 36 is December 20th. Okay. Didn't do it last winter, didn't do it the winter previous. You have to go back to the January 15th in the 2022-2023 winter season. Okay. That was the last time that we did that. Okay. So, anyway, I think it's kind of there's some interesting statistics there. I definitely think some interesting statistics. So it's all, the data is there. It's just for us to like parse through and look at. And I do think that it's a very fascinating deal. So this morning, obviously the school buses are basically done at this point in time. But for all the rest of us, we could change it from a school background to just a cup of coffee for all of us. Blustery cold. That's why we called it impact weather to let you know. Looking at the afternoon, the sunshine will help to bring temperatures up. It's just not going to get ridiculously warm. Temperatures today are going to remain fairly cool. So for today, let's just take a look and kind of get an idea of where we're at, okay? Forecast highs today look like this: 57 in Orlando, 57 Disney, 56 in Orange City, and around the rest of town, we'll climb to 56 in DeLand, 57 degrees in the Villages, and the lower 60s in Melbourne. Okay, so that's this afternoon. We'll start with winds gusting and then they'll calm down a bit. Let's take a look at Futurecast. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just plot Futurecast with winds, okay? And I'm doing this for a reason. So notice through 2 o'clock, Instead of gusting to 20 to 30, it's now 15, 20, 25. Continuing through 4, 5 o'clock, winds are really starting to calm. And here's 7 o'clock. Winds continue to calm. Overnight, the winds are all they're not going to go calm, but we'll see 5, 10 instead of 20 to 30. And what that's going to do is that's going to allow temperatures tonight to really drop. Okay. So, for example, here's a look at tonight into tomorrow morning's temperatures. I'll also note that temperatures are going to be, at least here north and west of the metro, almost the same spot they were this morning. Okay. In other words, Ocala, you hit 32 today. You'll be in the ballpark of that. 33 in Ocala, 31 in Reddick, 34 in Denellen. The for color table purposes, the light blue is areas we need to watch for frost. The lavender color, that's where we need to watch for the potential of a freeze. Okay, so yes, around Ocala and points to the north, Citra Anthony, for example, definitely in that area of chill. Okay, Lynn 35, probably going to be a little bit milder because of the lakes over there, but Salt Springs, you'll be to 32 degrees. Okay, let's push to the south. Notice around Lake County, Sumter County, I think Rutland, Wildwood, you could potentially get down to freezing. Definitely going to have frost there, though. 36 Lake Pennsauken, 35 in Webster. Around Astatula, Eustis, Lake County, if you're near the lakes, obviously that's going to radiate out a little bit of extra heat. So you'll probably stay just above freezing and just above frost areas. Okay, 39 in Eustis, 38 degrees in Mount Dora. 36 though in Paisley. Now we're talking about frost there. 36 in Umatilla. Claremont, a bit milder, 41 for you. We push to the south, you don't see the light blues. There will be some patchy frost, but it's not as widespread. All right. 42 in St. Cloud, 46 in Vieira, 49 in Cocoa Beach, and 45 in Titusville. And then, of course, into the metro, 42 degrees to wake up tomorrow morning in Orlando. Remember, we were at 36 officially. We got down to 35.6. That will round up to 36, but still, we're talking accuracy here, okay? 40 degrees tomorrow morning in Sanford, 38 in DeLand. So, with less wind, obviously, frost is going to be a growing concern for us overnight tonight into tomorrow. So, for planning purposes, yeah, it's going to be a gorgeous one, but depending on where you are, the 30s and the 40s will be with us, okay? So, that's kind of where we're at. Looking at the 7 day forecast, if you're not a fan of this, I get it. This is not going to stick around for forever. Notice by tomorrow afternoon, after that chilly start, we do rebound nicely. 69 Wednesday afternoon, 74 Thursday afternoon, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, upper 70s to the lower 80s. So just for planning, yeah, we're probably going to be getting into a range where we can enjoy the beach again and the pool again, that sort of a thing. All right. So that's kind of what we're looking at right now. Um, Veterans Day. Let's all thank veterans. I know Chris Pierce in the room. Thank you, sir, for your service. And for anyone else that served or a family member that served, thank you for your service. That includes Kellyanne Class, who's not watching, but she is the wife of a serviceman. Kellyanne has made a significant sacrifice in her career to move with her husband. That's the kind of stuff that family members of servicemen and women do. And so, to that point, I thank you, Kellyanne. I thank everyone, all of our Army 20 years, to you, to your family, to everyone here. 100% thank you, thank you, thank you on this day and every other day. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Agoya says, well, we have some form of snow in Central Florida. Those high clouds are made of ice crystals. Yes, yes. Let's go take the airplane up and fly through it. Get some icing. You talking to me? What's up? Yes, 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 yes. Of course. One other thing, and that was what Nat, the producer, was asking about. Because it's gusty, and of course I've failed to mention it this morning, but we have power outages now across town. Take a look at some of these numbers, by the way. 1,000 residents in Polk County now without power, conceivably because of the wind gusts, right? It may be a car accident, but I wouldn't suspect as much. 300 in Orange County, down to 200 in Brevard, but these gusts are absolutely playing out. So just keep that in mind. We're tracking the power outages this morning on this cold morning as well. All right. David says proudly served in the Corps and the Army. Thank you. Thank you. Mike says yes, family served. They absolutely do. There is no better example of that than any servicemen or women that you know. Just ask their spouse, ask their family, their children. They all have made sacrifices for our country. So, absolutely, thank you. AI told me it feels colder today outside. I'm glad that you trust AI. I'm very glad. Yukon. I saw some pics from along Bay Shore in Tampa. It looked like a frosty wonderland. So, um, I saw Paul Delgado posted, and I'm pretty sure that that was just a joke. I'm like 90% sure, 99% sure. Oh yeah, I'm looking at the picture now. Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, yeah, Yukon. It's Paul Delgado being a goober. Yeah, but Oliver, those are moments. Those are memories for you. So nothing wrong with that. Not else. I have plans with the kids, but have to be a little late picking up some weaker tree limbs here and uses. Yeah, well, that's the way it goes. Leslie Gale from our radio partner over at Magic, she had to be late to our we do a kind of a talk back thing, and she was late to work this morning because tree tree limbs were down along her route that had taken power lines down, so the crews had literally had to block off roadways. I'm just putting together my next weather, so bear with me a few seconds here, friends. All right, put together Canaveral. All right, very good. TV hit is put together. Faith says it's hard to believe I live in Florida, right? Yeah. Yukon says I worked in Walmart for 25 years. That's a good career, man. Do not get warm in your running car in the garage unless it's electric. Well, absolutely right. Yeah, the exhaust will actually kill you. Let's see here. All right, weather 3 shot and then heading over to the wall. Okay, very good. My ex-husband served in the Marines. Thank you all for your service, Stacy says. Cardo says, yes, and I just got it actually. Yes. Red flag warnings issued. I mean, it's dry, so absolutely makes sense. Yep. Red flag warnings make sense. Um, Oliver says the involuntary oath a family takes is priceless and often ignored. They all live with the reality that they could become a Gold Star family at any time. There's more, Oliver, than that. They live with the reality that they are not in control, that the United States military is in control. That I think is the biggest part. Take away the Gold Star part. I mean, obviously that's a thing, and we don't want to focus on that though. What we want to focus on is the fact that the sacrifices that they make are out of their control, and I think that that's the most important part. Let's see here. What temp will we be here in Ocala tonight? We'll be back down to around freezing tonight. All right, let's take a walk. Can you do me a favor and move the keyboard off the cart for me, please? Just so I can put the laptop down. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So yeah, Stacy, it's going to be a chilly one. We had a tree limb in our neighborhood get taken out from winds last night. Power was restored around 2 a.m. So a lot of people are talking about these power outages
Yeah.
in Coffee Talk this morning. Yeah.
Yeah, the wind is really creating some
Right.
major issues.
Right.
Yeah, 1,000 right now in Polk County.
Well, between the wind and also like the heaters kicking on, tripping, there's
Yeah.
there's any number of reasons, but either way, it's a thing. So yeah,
That's unfortunate because it's chilly.
it's
Yeah.
chilly out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's the wind that really gets it.
Yeah.
And right now, the county's working to set up a specific landmark location where neighbors are able to meet with SBA officials to ask more questions. For now, you can call that number below. It's on your screen. We also have that information on wesh.com and a link for you to apply for financial help.
Jason was just talking about those power outages, and Eric, I know you're on Facebook and all
Yeah,
the other
yeah,
platforms. You stream
yeah.
on Coffee Talk right now, and you have people saying that they actually lost power.
Yeah, there's people saying one person had said that it went out overnight. It was restored at 2 a.m. But as you
Good.
all were saying, that there's more than 1,000 residents in just one county
Right,
without power.
right. Just
So
in Polk County.
this is a thing. So it's also very cold. It's kind of
Record setting.
yeah, it's not ideal. Ocala is not an official record, okay? And it's the only one that didn't obliterate its old record.
Ugh.
Look at some of these numbers, right? Like Orlando got down to 36. Melbourne's old record was 42. Yeah, hold my beverage. 37 degrees in Melbourne this morning. So it was absolutely a record-setting start. And to put it further into perspective, that 36 is the official low temperature thus far in Orlando. The average first time of getting there is about the week of Christmas, looking through time. Did not get there at all last winter, did not get there at all the previous winter. You have to go back to the winter of 2022, 2023. We got there in January. So, yeah, it's been a while. And even now that the temperature is starting to climb, we're at 38 in Orlando. It's still in the ballpark of places like Boston and Bangor, Maine. It's colder than Billings, Montana, and Denver, Colorado. So yeah, and just like that, temperatures climbed up even more. We're at 39 in Orlando now. It's 35 in Ocala, 37 degrees in the Villages, but it's gusty. And because of the wind gusts, it still feels like the 20s across just about all of town. Even in Brevard County, feels like the lower 30s. Sustained winds are running 15 to 20 miles an hour, and I've seen gusts in the ballpark of 30 miles an hour in the last few minutes' time. So through the day today, staying gusty early. Later in the day, the winds will calm. 57, the high temperature Orlando, Oviedo, and Lake Mary. 56 today in Orange City. 56 degrees in Daytona Beach and Ocala. And into Brevard County, you'll warm into the lower 60s. So it's going to be a chilly one for all of us. But once that impact weather is over this morning and those temperatures gradually climb, we'll enjoy this beautiful sunshine. But tonight, because we're not tracking such a gust, these temperatures are going to drop off and they will do so very, very quickly. Here's the overnight lows. Light blue, that's frost, a much more widespread issue tonight. And then the lavender color is going to be areas will be near freezing. Dropping off to 42 in Orlando, about 41 in Winter Springs, 41 Daytona Beach, 36 in Astor, 33 degrees in Ocala, 36 Lake Peninsauken, 41 in Claremont, and expecting 48 Rockledge. Back over the barrier island is 50 Satellite Beach, 50 at Cape Canaveral. And yes, there are frost advisories in effect for parts of Flagler, West Volusia, and Lake counties. I suspect that we're going to see a whole bunch of frost in the morning. Central Florida's certified most accurate 7-day forecast showing that once we get through tomorrow morning's frosty start, temperatures will climb. 70 for our Wednesday, will be to nearly 80 though by this weekend, Megan.
To your traffic right now, you can see no issues really for that morning drive.
Okay. So now we've got a Today Show cut in, and then we'll have another hit on CW18 in a couple of minutes. So we've got a couple back to back to back to back to back, but we can still do our thing here on Coffee Talk. As long as you're okay with me multitasking, then we'll be all right. Let me come back through here and check on some of your comments. We have so much trouble here with power outages. Most of us have a generator, Terry says. Well, it's not a bad idea to have a generator, but you have to maintain the generator, you have to run it, you have to test it, and you have to be ready to do it. You know what I mean? Let's see here. Janice is asking, is it a hot chocolate morning? Yeah, today definitely impact weather. It's cold outside. It's very cold outside. Yeah, I would say so. Did Daytona Beach break a record? Peggy's asking. So I'd have to go back and triple check, but this is the latest from when I went to look for data. The answer is yes. We tied it in Daytona Beach. Let me look while we're here. Daytona Beach, KDAB, Daytona Beach, temperature 35.1. So yeah, yep, you definitely tied the record. Doesn't look like you broke it, you tied it, which is, you know, basically the same thing. Beverly says, my poor cat can't understand why I won't let her out on the patio. This morning, Stella had to go to the bathroom, okay? Went to let her out, and the it was cold, but then the sprinklers were going. And it was like, oh, we're not going this way. And she kind of looked at me. She's just like, dude, dude. It's like, no, 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 Stella, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Tim's asking, so it's okay to start eating the hurricane snacks? I would hope so. I would hope so. Ari says, wow, my brother in Omaha is warmer temperature wise than here. Isn't that something? Right? Oh, that's funny. Mike says my chihuahua wanted to go outside, took a few steps, felt the cold wind, and pretty much said, nope, I'll hold it. I mean, you gotta eventually go. I took Stella out, but yeah. Yep. Victoria, oh, talking about beverages, Victoria says it's a hot anything. Yeah, I would go with that. Kim says your multitasking is legendary. I wouldn't go that so far as to say legendary. I'm not perfect. I would love to be perfect. You know what I mean? Let's see here. Generators are a lot of trouble, says Janice. They are. I mean, that's why I went with batteries instead of generators for the house. But yeah. Denise says hubby usually leaves in the morning for work with a lemonade. This morning it was a cappuccino. He went hot though, right? So when we did coffee this morning, I did an iced coffee. Like, it is what it is. All right. Any other questions, comments, concerns? Carol says my Yorkie is wearing a t-shirt and a hoodie. That's adorable. I just hope that when we have Share Your Christmas, do we know what day that is? Share Your Christmas?
I thought we were starting it earlier, right?
But there's what day are we like going out and doing the things?
Big thing.
The thing.
It's the Friday after Thanksgiving, right? Not the day after, not Black Friday, but the week after.
Is it?
Isn't it December 5th?
Checking, standby. December 5th. I don't think it is. I'm out of town December 5th.
We should know this.
We should. I'm looking. Have it as December 12th. Okay, I just looked. December 12th. Maybe we're starting it earlier. I have it on my calendar as December 12th.
Yep, it is December 12th.
Okay, it's December 12th. So I just hope that it's going to be nice and chilly on December 12th. Yukon says, share your Christmas is December 12th. I believe I'm going to be back at the Daytona International Speedway. Who the heck knows? I don't know where each weather hit is each morning from hit to hit. But I hope it's this chilly on December 12th when we do Share Your Christmas. I'll see you guys if they let this indoor cat out of the house. We'll see. But I hope for Share Your Christmas it feels this way. Boy, this is crockpot weather. Dude, right? I did matzo ball soup last night. Maybe it's crockpot stuff today. I don't know. Nautilus, be good. Take care. We can look at the BSR for December 12th. Oh, I guess we can, can't we? All right, so then we'll have to do that. So we can enter it up until 8:31, 8:32 after that hit. So I've got a Today Show hit coming up here in a couple seconds. Then my first hit for CW in the next half hour. Then let's do that, Matt. Let's look long range and let's do that. Taylor says you need to petition for the Speedway. I'm not going to petition for it. They're either going to send me or not. They don't care what I want. They're going to do what they want to do. That's the way it goes. Eric at the Weather Center. Very good. I can't wait. All right, stand by. Hope they let you out of the cage so we can get you. Yes, Frank.
2, 1.
Good morning. I'm Lindsay Sablon, and we are having a weather impact day. I'm with First Warning Meteorologist Eric Burris. I stole your line. I posted on social
yeah.
media. Colder than Canada. Need we say more?
Can you believe it? But it's true. I mean, it really is true. Even Miami is colder than Canada. So here's why we're under that impact weather. 38 outside in Orlando. It's 35 in Ocala. But with winds gusting to nearly 30 miles an hour, the feels like temperatures are sitting at 26 in Ocala, 28 in Orlando. So yeah, now through the day today, temperatures will climb 53 by lunchtime, 57 by 3 o'clock this afternoon. Tonight we'll have to watch for some frost. Back to nearly 70 tomorrow, back to nearly 80 by this weekend. Megan, good morning.
Good morning, Eric. This is a look here from the crash along the 408 eastbound. It's right near the ramp up.
I didn't feel like I had enough time to go over to the key, so we just hung out in the weather center. Okay. Oh, Mike.
This is a lot. Crystal Lake Drive, so
Gonna tweet Wesh. I want Eric at the Brevard too. You just want to mess with it. You just want to shake it all up, right?
some people opt for work today.
Debbie's asking, will Thanksgiving be chilly? We'll look at the long range stuff. So I've got one more hit on CW18 coming up in like 30 seconds, and then we can look long range. I promise you.
Yeah.
Do that, do that, do that. Let's do that tower cam. Perfect. Okay. All right. So I'll dial up some long range stuff here in a couple minutes. All right, where are we for this?
Now, as Central Florida is waking up to the coldest morning we have had so far.
And you're going to want to look at these temperatures on your screen. Most of us are in the 30s, a few 40s now on our coasts. It's chilly at Central Florida, Megan.
Yeah, with the colder weather, don't want to blast that warm air in your car. This morning, I have tips on staying warm as you're heading out the door.
Lives on CW18 starts now. It is Tuesday morning and it's Veterans Day. We thank all who have served. Good morning to you. I'm Jason Guy.
And I'm Lindsay Sablon. There are so many ceremonies that are happening outdoors today. Let's bring in first morning meteorologist Eric Burris, because if you're outside for any reason,
Yeah.
you need to have that jacket.
Absolutely. Listen, I mean, if you're not going to do that, then there are big problems. It is so chilly
Yeah.
outside. You're going to turn around and go right back. That's what you're going to do. So let's talk about things. Just to put it into perspective, we are running 15 to 20 degrees colder, nearly 25 or so degrees colder in Brevard County than this time yesterday. So you'll notice it. And now that the sun is on its way up, the temperatures have started to climb. 39 in Orlando, 37 degrees in the Villages. It's 35 in Ocala. And that wind is still blasting in about 15 to 20 miles an hour. And we've seen gusts running upwards of 30 miles an hour. That's why it feels like 28 in Orlando, feels like 27 degrees in DeLand, and feels like 26 in Ocala. That's serious chill. We look outside on our tower cam. This is looking over toward I Drive, the camera bouncing around. The skies are clear. It's a gorgeous start to the day, but temperature on I Drive is at 37. It's 38 in downtown Orlando, 41 now at UCF, and about 39 South Avalon Park. So it's impact weather this morning for obvious reasons. Through the day, though, that sun will shine, and yeah, we warm. Just not a lot. 57 degrees will be our high temperature today. But with winds going calm, it's going to get frosty tonight. So let's talk about that piece of the puzzle when I see you with Central Florida's certified most accurate forecast in minutes.
Now we're seeing power outages across Central Florida.
Okay. Let's talk about some long range stuff now, okay?
They've been intensive times that we've seen throughout the overnight going hours.
One of the neighborhoods is Reopen Our Lakes, which is right off of
My kid said he took, Danielle says, my kid said he took the trash out and his butt fell off. I mean, it's cold. It's cold. All right. Actually, it's taller. Is Eric taller than Marquise? Marquise looks like he's about 5'7". I don't know if I'm taller than Marquise. I'm 5'8". I have no idea who's taller. I think we're probably pretty close, actually. He's not that tall.
is taller than my daughter's.
Oh, Tony's way tall. Tony's tall. I am not tall. All right. First off, let's just look at the 7-day and then we can go beyond to see what's doing. All right. So 7-day, we do show a warm up coming up late. All right, let me dial this up, hit the stop button, re-rack this. All right, so we're going to do some long range forecasting. This is a non-traditional approach to weather. It's not perfect, but it kind of gives us an idea of what could be to come, okay? So as long as you know that, you're good to go. All right, let's go through time here. So cold front through, where's my phone? I got to do some like rough math calculation. So this is, wait, where are we? That is, stand by. So that's the 15th, 16th. So that's showing another front coming through around the 15th, 16th. So early next week. Now that's showing kind of a storm system off the northeastern United States coastline. So that's kind of interesting. We'll have to check the model and see. Actually, we can We can do that pretty easily. Stand by. 15th, 16th. So there's the storm system kind of top of the screen. It's nothing significant, but all right. So we'll go with that. Okay, got it. All right, back to the BSR. All right. Going through here. To do this on a MacBook Air is always so fun. High pressure builds in. There's a big old cold front. That is November 20th, 21st, 22nd. So that's going to be late week, the week before Thanksgiving. Now that's an interesting little deal here. So like the weekend before Thanksgiving looks like a little front, I mean something nasty out in the Atlantic, but a little front, some stormier weather up into the I-10 corridor, and then a little piece of energy crossing the Gulf here. That's around the 23rd, 24th, 25th. So early Thanksgiving week could have a Florida storm system of some kind. And then there's a big old cold front, and that's coming in. The 26th, 27th, 28th. So there's going to be a storm system, it looks like, right around Thanksgiving. Pattern looks like it's wanting to focus on a storm system around the deep south right around Thanksgiving. That looks like a pretty good blast of dry air, cooler, drier air. Yeah. So it's not perfect. But there you go. And then another big cold front marching our direction around the 29th, 30th. All right, let's switch over to the GFS and just kind of get an idea. That, do that, do that, do that. All right, here we are. Cold front there. That's December 3rd, November 30th, December 1st, December 2nd. That's a heck of a cold front. That's like a Gulf low. That's like a severe weather setup there. That first week of December. Ooh, that looks like an Alberta Clipper. A big winter storm system up north. Tim, I'm looking at you, my friend. December 6th, 7th, and 8th. So based on that, the OUC may be in. The OUC looks like it may be a little warm this year. Maybe a little warm, or may have some showers. I have to time out the specifics, but right now it looks like OUC may be a little warm this year for the race. That's the first glance at the OUC. Oh, what's going on there? Kind of a developing severe weather deal out in the Gulf. That's December 13th, 14th, 15th. All right. So looking long range, we definitely have a bit of an active pattern, right? Have to see how it all plays out. All right. Questions, comments, concerns? You guys are tracking this, right? Definitely going to get active in a couple of weeks. It is. Christopher says the GFS not showing the storm on the 23rd, 24th. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. I mean, it's also the 11th, so the GFS doesn't exactly go out that far. Yukon says OUC was warm last year or the year before. It was like 75, 80, humid 1. I do remember that. I feel like last year was frigid. The year before was warm. We'll have to see. Yeah. Terry Ann's asking, have we ever had a hurricane in December? We have had a named storm system every month of the year. Yes. Do I think we're going to get one this year? I certainly hope not. All right. For those of you asking for the coastal 7-day forecast, not much different this time of year, right about now. Yeah. There you go. Temperatures into the mid and upper 70s to the lower 80s. Not too bad. Koi's asking, what is the OUC? It's the Orlando Utilities Commission, the OUC half marathon. Big race. Wesh covers it big during December. My brother runs it every year. I'll be in the weather lab doing something, supposedly. Yeah. Robin, thank you, Eric. Of course, my pleasure, my pleasure, my pleasure. So yeah, so that's kind of where we're at. All right. Questions, comments, concerns, everybody? Are we looking good? Thoughts? Waiting to see if that flooding event on the 26th will recycle. Absolutely. That's going to be a big clue to me in the long range weather pattern. Um, La Nina is something L this year. Farmer's Almanac going to be right with all this cold. It's definitely different, right? Yeah. Jeannie Rowan, thank you for hanging out. I appreciate you so much. Debbie says, no, your brother is the other brother, not Frank. Yeah, no, not Frank. It's Jason. Jason Burris, the better looking Burris. Chris is asking for year-to-date rain. I don't have it in the new graphics package, but I could pull up the old one. Eyes. Ugh. Ugh. So deficit for Leesburg, but the other locations are not looking terrible. Yeah. All right. Questions, comments, concerns? Are we good? Y'all good with everything? Are we good? I think so. I think I'm good. Looking good. Mother Nature needs regulation. We need something. Calm down these temperatures, right? It's at least we're getting there. At least we're getting there. All right, people, listen. Thank you so much for hanging out for Coffee Talk. Be the sunshine in someone else's day. I will see you on CW18 through 10 a.m. And of course, I'll post some other stuff through the day. All right. Sound good? Sound good. All right. Take care. Bye.